This is a tricky concentration question for all you triple scientists here. It says ethanoic acid is a solid at room temperature. Calculate the mass of it needed to make 250 centimeters cubed of a solution with a concentration of 0.048 moles per dm cubed. And they've given us the MR here. So first thing you want to do is work out the moles. Moles is equal to concentration times by volume. So let's get our concentration, which is 0.048, then multiply that by the volume. Remember, when you're using these concentration volume equations, you need to always convert to dm cubed. Our volume is in centimeters cubed, so that means we need to do 250 over 1000. So that will give us 0.012 moles of this ethanoic acid that we have. Now we've got the moles, we can work out the mass. We can use the equation moles equals mass over mr and rearrange it to give us mass is equal to moles times mr. So we get the number we just got, the 0.012, and multiply that by the mr of this, which is 90, and that will give us a final answer. And that is 1.08 grams. Now, for the second part, this is even trickier. It's 3 marks. We've got a student found that 25 centimeters cubed of the sodium hydroxide was neutralized by 15 centimeters cubed of the 0.048 mole per dm cubed ethanoic acid solution. So this one that we just did a calculation for. It says calculate the concentration of sodium hydroxide in moles per dm cubed. This is a mole calculation here. So what is our known here? What do we know the concentration and volume of? Well, that is the ethanoic acid. So let's put a K there to show that we know it. Our unknown is what we're trying to work out, which is the sodium hydroxide. So let's put a U here. So the first thing we want to do is find out the moles of our known substance. So we're going to do that using moles equals concentration times volume. We're going to get the concentration of the ethanoic acid because that's our known. So that's 0.048, and then we're going to multiply that by the volume of the ethanoic acid. Make sure you choose the right volume here. We don't want the volume of sodium hydroxide yet because remember, we're working out the moles of the known, the ethanoic acid. So multiply that by 15 and remember to divide it by 1000 because it needs to be in dm cubed. Doing that gives you 0.00072 moles of the ethanoic acid. Now, to get from the known to the unknown, we need to look at the ratio. The ethanoic acid doesn't have a number in front of it, so that's a 1, but the NaOH has a 2 in front of it, so it's a 1:2 ratio. So we get that number, the 0.00072, and we multiply it by 2 to get the number of moles of sodium hydroxide. So that would be 0.0014 moles of sodium hydroxide. Now we've got the moles, we've also got the volume here. We can use the equation to work out the concentration. So the concentration is equal to moles over volume here. So we're going to get the moles we just calculated, the 0.0014, divide that by the volume of sodium hydroxide this time, so that's 25, but remember to divide the 25 by 1000 because it needs to be converted into dm cubed. Now put that all into your calculator, it should give you the final answer. So that would be 0.0576 mole per dm cubed. That's how you do that tricky question.